What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Marc Almond, and this is another tune included in a suite of tracks provided by a great friend of the channel, Kim, in relation to some issues and short and long-term themes that I've been discussing as I've gone through the list of tracks. This one is from 1988, and apparently this is Marc's own 12-inch mix of his original version of the tune. And Kim's note for this one is that it is dark but not completely without hope, and that even though Marc himself has said it's a love song, there are many who interpret it as having social and political commentary in terms of the maybe multi-level meanings of the lines. So either way, I'm excited to hear it. I believe it's called Tears Run Rings. Have I got that right? Obviously the first word could be tear, but I'm guessing it's tears. So yes, Tears Run Rings, and it's the, what is it, La Magia Dance mix, I believe. Make sure I have that right. Yeah, La Magia Dance mix. So here we go. This is Marc Almond from 1988, Tears Run Rings, and it's the La Magia Dance mix. Guitar sounds like pure guitar. Let's see, please.
They're pulling down the old slums to build the new. They're bringing back the old rules to please the few. In the name of the cross or a banner of love, with the hand of a friend or under a blanket of trust. The angel sighed, a little girl cried, the tears run rings around my eyes. The angel sighed, a little girl cried, the tears run rings around my eyes. The angel sighed, a little girl cried, the tears run rings around my eyes. The angel sighed, a little girl cried, the tears run rings around my eyes. To build anew, pull down the love I built with you. Promise of tomorrow, you never cared, and you try to burn my heart down when I slept. The nation's in disorder, there's chaos in my heart. We've got to get together before we fall
Proper 12-inch mix. Stripping down for an outro still with a kick drum. And then it's done. So yeah, I love that. I'll try to focus on the lyrics at first because I heard a number of them pretty clearly. So I get why both sides of this would be true, meaning some of the lines are clearly directly about a relationship, but many of them certainly are either metaphorically referencing the nation or, going to war and things like that, where you can definitely, just interpret them directly, even if they are metaphors for like interpersonal emotion. But even beyond that, I feel like it's a song that likely functions on two levels. I really feel like you can hear or understand both dimensions. So, okay, it sounds like he's saying that, the things we do ostensibly for good or for the, right reasons are often more problematic in that and cause destruction. And he seems to be saying that sometimes, we do things, again, for reasons that speak to beliefs or to, cultural attitudes about things, but which cause great suffering and harm. And in that regard, it's like they're presented with, the hand of a friend or under this blanket of trust. So they're things that are done which are put spin on, meaning like, oh, well, we want this because it's for the greater good, and look, it's done by someone you trust or someone that you care about, and beliefs that we hold, and things that we value dearly, and that is a way to make them more palatable. That's a way to make them seem like they're not as threatening or indeed destructive as they likely will turn out to be. And, there's a line that's roughly speaking about gentrification, the idea that, we tear down the slums to build new ones, and, we're bringing back these old ideas which are held to be, tradition, they're sacrosanct, even if maybe there are things that we shouldn't be welcoming, things that we shouldn't be doing. And the line about, like, the angel, what is it, crying, and maybe it's the little girl crying, but the angel sighing, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but those speak to, like, maybe those who truly are innocent and who truly know right from wrong are actually sad about what we're doing, even if we're trying to put a good spin on it, and suggesting that this is normatively desirable. So yes, it feels like some of these lines, again, you can take back to the interpersonal realm of, like, why are we going to war with each other? Why are we doing these things where we're presenting it as like, oh, this is what you want, or this is good for us, even if it's clearly causing problems. But certainly I think you can take those lines and talk about society, and again, like, going to war for reasons of, national principles and so on, which are perhaps presented in a way that is misleading or deceptive, and will lead to great suffering and things that we'll regret, things that don't serve anyone's purposes on a longer arc, but which again are being passed off as, indicative of what we care about and what we value. So yeah, I absolutely see the way this could be taken on multiple levels, and I think it works both interpersonally and socio-culturally / politically. And, again, I wonder if they're the kind of lines that you write from Mark's point of view, thinking about a relationship or some emotional love situation, but which can be extrapolated beyond that, which again speaks to the concept I've talked about from the very earliest reactions I did to tracks with lyrics, meaning lyrics are a dialogue between writer and listener. So sometimes there are perfectly reasonable interpretations in the mind of the listener that may not have been on the mind of the writer, but that's part of what happens when you take lines or indeed prose and you present it to people whose experiences, understandings, and emotions may not be identical to the person who wrote it. And I don't think there's anything illegitimate about that, even if you can concede that, okay, well, they wrote it with this very specific thing in mind. Sonically, I love it. Again, it's high tempo, it's got a great energy to it. I do wonder if this fits into a genre a number of folks have talked about, and which I had heard of prior to, these deep dives in my doing reactions, which is high energy. Because, going back, I listened to New Energy, and that was a genre that was, sort of emerging out of, like, hard house and so on, but was seen, I think, as a later incarnation of high energy, which again I understand is very much rooted into, like, gay dance community, and it was, part of, Mark was talking about it, Joseph was talking about it, so I wonder if this fits into that. Either way, it's got these funky brass flares, it's got that driving and sort of funky, like, heavy synth bass, it's got lots of cycling percussive layers and, drum bits. I do enjoy it feels like a dance version of a soft cell tune, which I suppose in 1988 that's not terribly surprising, given that, Mark had been in soft cell not too long in the rearview mirror, if you will. So either way, I enjoy the darkness, but with some funky atmosphere provided by other layers of the sonics, and ultimately I think maybe all of that kind of fits into what's happening thematically and lyrically. And as I said, I enjoy the way the final, maybe 30-40 seconds of the tune strips everything down, and it's just that kick drum and some of the cycling percussive elements, which if you're doing a dance floor mix, that gives a DJ a perfect transitional section to move into the next track. But yeah, absolutely enjoyed the drum machine, like, synth dance sonics of this one, and ultimately I feel like this does very much fit into the lyrical thematic territory that these tunes in this playlist have been part of. So once again, big thank you to Kim, big shout out to all those who who've been following the soft cell and, more recently some Marc Almond reactions, I will continue with both of them, both individually in terms of Marc's work and more soft cell. So yeah, looking forward to much more. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.